down and the lock stitch button, and holding those two buttons down, turn on the machine. We can see that the screen flashes and comes up and says factory adjust. Then we have a different selection of numbers that appears. To navigate through these different selections, we're going to use our jog dial. When you turn the jog dial, you will see that we can hop from number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or go back and forth. But we're going to go down to number 3, self-check, and press the middle of the jog dial. We then see LCD display flash on the screen. Now looking at the whole machine, we can see that on the left-hand side, we have little lights blinking, and on the right-hand side, our screen is blinking. If for some reason the screen was not going on and off, we would have a problem with the A board. On the left-hand side, for our function buttons, if they were not blinking red, green, then we would have a problem with the F board. To go to the next step, press reverse. Now the next step says push the key, and any key that you push will appear on the screen. Also our function buttons, up, down, the cutter, the start, stop, any button that you push should appear. If not, we would have a problem with the panel or possibly the F board. Now when we press the reverse button, it brings us to the next step, which is a microswitch and sensor test. Next we have our bobbin winder, which is represented by spool. At the top of the machine you can see your bobbin winder switch. You might have a problem if you put it to normal sew and it constantly tells you that you're in bobbin winding mode. If so, we would have to loosen the bracket that holds the microswitch and move it so that when we are in normal sew mode, that it makes contact with the switch. Next we have foot lift and assist lift. This adjustment is found on the left-hand side of the machine, and when you lift your presser foot lifters up and all the way up, you can see that there is a black lever that moves along with it and reacts against these little silver clips attached to the microswitches. If you need to make an adjustment, you would loosen the one screw that holds the bracket of the microswitches and either move it towards the black lever or away. And we'll test it, move it up, and make sure that the switches are making contact. Once you are done, tighten it. Next we have our M-line sensor. Our M-line sensor is in charge of center needle position. Center needle position is very important on this machine because we have the plate that opens and closes for straight stitch sewing. So on the top we have our zigzag motor, our sensor, and to get a little bit better view of this, we're going to take a look at a zigzag rod, which is the black rod, and attached to that black rod we have a plate, and on that plate we have a slit. If for some reason you are getting an F2 error message, that means that this slit on the shield plate is not lined up properly. To make the adjustment, loosen the screw that holds the bracket of the sensor, move the bracket and the sensor so that the slit is in the middle of the sensor. Next we have our needle plate. We are going to take off the needle plate and first inspect the needle plate. If we were having issues with the needle plate not opening and closing properly, we most likely would get an F1 error message. If we get an F1 error message, we need to first inspect the needle plate. So we'll lift the needle plate off, and underneath the needle plate we can see that we have a black lever system. When we close the plate and let go, we can see that it springs open very smoothly. We have our spring and the whole black lever system. Maybe this area could be bent, or maybe it got pulled on and it's not opening and closing smoothly. In that case, sometimes you can just go with your fingers and try to straighten it out. The key is for it to open and close smoothly. Now, the piece that operates this, you have a little hook that's hanging out in the back right hand corner. This locks into the needle plate and it runs all the way over to a step motor and it operates the needle plate, opening and closing it. You can see that we don't have a lot of play up or down. It really should only move left to right. It's not just flopping around inside the machine. After inspecting the needle plate, if we find that we still have a problem, we're going to turn the machine around and look underneath. To get a better view, we're going to remove the blue base plate. To remove the blue base plate, you just have to remove the 4 screws. Now you don't normally have to do this while inspecting it, but in order to get a better view on the camera, it's important to remove it. And we're just going to put that to the side. Now what we do have to remove is the arm sole. The arm sole is held in by 2 screws. Now when we remove the second screw, we're going to expose a step motor that's hidden underneath it. This step motor is our needle plate step motor. It's responsible for opening and closing. Now if we still have a problem, we're going to check our spring system underneath and our plate, or our driving arm, for opening and closing the needle plate. So we can see our spring, we can see that the plate is moving nicely, left and right, and as we follow it over in the machine, we can see that it's making contact with a hinge arm, and the hinge arm is connected to the step motor. Now we can see when it moves, the little hinge arm is actually making contact with the micro switch. This micro switch lets the machine know whether that the plate is open or closed. Now to get a better view of it, we're going to remove the step motor. There are only 2 screws that hold the step motor in, so we removed one, and now we're going to remove the second one. Now that we removed the second screw, we're going to be able just to lift right up on the step motor, and we can see it just comes right out. Now we're going to be taking a look at this hinge arm here, and we can see the micro switch, and you can see that it reacts. When you move it, it opens and closes that little white switch on the micro switch. Now this hinge arm is very important, and it has to be seated properly. If you needed to change the micro switch, you would just follow the wires through. Now we can see our little hinge arm here. It fits into our driving plate. It's very important that it is seated correctly and that it does go in correctly. Now if you were getting an F1 error message, most likely it would just be the switch that's bad if something is not aligned properly. And make sure that we align it nicely. If you did have a problem with the step motor would give you an E3 error message. And we're just going to put the 2 screws in, make sure that it's seated properly, make sure the step motor is in there nice. Go back and tighten the other screw just to make sure it's seated nicely. And at this point, we can move the plate and we see the hinge arm moving open and close. Now we're going to replace the arm sole, and we're going to move any kind of wires that might be in the way out of the way so we don't pinch them. It's always important when taking apart the machine and putting it back together that you look very carefully at the wires. You never want to get a wire caught between the casting and maybe the arm sole or between any 2 pieces. Very important, do not pinch the wires. Make sure it's tightened nicely. Now next we have our buttonhole lever. The buttonhole lever adjustment is found on the left hand side of the machine. Pull down the lever and you can move it back and forth. When making this adjustment, it's important to make sure that nothing is touching the lever. Now if we work our way up, we can see that it turns into a black shield plate, and the black shield plate goes through a sensor. There is a slit in the middle of this shield plate, and to have proper adjustment, the slit should be in the middle of the sensor. If not, you have a 1.5mm hex screw with a little nut around it, and if needed to, either loosen or tighten that screw, and you will angle the shield plate so the slit will end up in the middle of the sensor. Next we're going to take a look at our feed dog up down. The feed dog up down switch is located on the bottom of the machine. We can see our white switch on the bottom of the machine. When we move it up or down, we can see it react with the micro switch. That it makes contact with the machine know whether the feed dogs are down or up. That the feed dogs have dropped. If an adjustment is
If
needed
it's not working
and it's not reading properly,
locate the little
go down
screw,
to the screw, loosen it,
and then from
there
there
we
just
can
angle
angle the switch so it reacts properly with the micro switch.
Once it makes contact, tighten the screw, and you're good to go.